We are on page 446, and we are going to be reading the story this week, The Man Who Went to the Far Side of the Moon. I love this story. Excuse me, but today we're on page 446. We're talking about graphic sources, first of all. Oops, I'm going to hit my laptop for just a second. We're talking about graphic sources for, first of all, and we're talking about phases of the moon. And by looking at pictures, illustrations, graphs, and diagrams, of which we look all the time at in math, in reading, in science, every part of our day, whether we're in the classroom, whether we're looking at our videos together through YouTube, or if I posted something on the Weebly website, we're constantly looking at graphics such as this to understand what happens to be going on. Well, one of the things that I did want to talk to you about that I like to, unfortunately we didn't get to a chance to go through in science, but one of the things that I always like to study is the phases of the moon. And we're going to be talking about the other side of the moon. We're going to be looking at the NASA website, which is one of my absolute favorite websites. Hannah Drain might agree with me after she looks at that, because I believe she wants to be a scientist when she grows up. Maybe not go to the moon herself, but maybe work for NASA, I think is what she was thinking about. I think she's shaking her head up and down now. But one of the things, and I think Olivia, well, I know Olivia says that one of her favorite subjects is science. So if you enjoy science, if you enjoy math, if you like to combine those two, or if you just like science alone, something like that might be in your future as far as that's concerned. All right, so phases of the moon, I wanted to talk about that real fast. Here I go again. Trying to do two things at once, looking through the camera and then hitting my laptop at the same time. Okay, this is a calendar of April. You can see on the 22nd and the 23rd, it was the new moon. When it says the new moon, that actually is stating that we simply cannot see the moon. Remember that the moon does not produce its own light. It is illuminated from the sun. And therefore, the earth is blocking then the sun's rays in order for the moon to be illuminated. And then we see that waxing crescent, which I think is so cool. And then we can see it a little more. And then by the 30th, we see that first quarter moon. And we'll talk more about how this actually comes about. Okay. So we see on the first that it was the first quarter. Then you have the waxing gibbous. And then comes the full moon on the 8th. Then you have the waning. Waning means to go away. So we start to see the waning gibbous beginning on the 9th. And then that last quarter. Remember that quarter is the 4th. And then we just see that crescent going away. Waning means to go away. And then we've got the new moon that we just looked at. So we'll talk more about the moon phases and how that actually comes to be, and the rotation, and how everything is aligning up with that. Okay, so we will definitely talk more on that one.